Hey guys, I just wanted to share my skin routine.
Shut your fucking mouth! No problem, John. Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Shut it!
I came to laugh at you.
How the fuck are you, huh? It's Chopper Reed here. Now it occurred to me there might be kiddies watching, yeah? Hello, kiddies. Hello. Hello.
I'm awake. Believe it or
You're
not,
awake.
I am awake this time.
I don't
am
fucking believe it. I don't fucking believe you. This is not actually lethal. He just recorded something pre-recorded, and I'm just talking to the pre-recording right now.
We did a really good job of rehearsing this. They have it down pat to the exact moment of when I'm going to talk. And they've been practicing thoroughly throughout the day. But yes, I am here. I am so sorry about yesterday. I'm accepting my penance. I'm accepting my penance. In my defense, though, I did get more messages criticizing Mozza for not knowing who Kylie Minogue is than me falling asleep through a stream. It's not my fault he doesn't know who Kylie Minogue is. He's
That doesn't
retarded.
make any sense to me. I don't understand that.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Fuck Mazza.
But we're here. We're going to be talking about Halo Episode 6. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to say about this episode. It's dog shit, and there's some weird fucking romantic shit going on in a Halo ring and some weird vision. But for whatever reason, this episode's getting praised, and I don't know why. If I was someone, putting myself in the shoes of someone that would like this show, I don't see how someone who likes this show would like this episode. I feel this would be a disappointment. But anyway, I am joined by Epic Mike. Thank you very much for coming, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. If you will permit me, when we get a chance, I also have a small rant about episode 5 that I'd like to go on because I wasn't here last week.
Go for it now.
All right, we'll go for it now. Okay, so first of all, fuck Mazza, because a broken clock is right twice a day. You can say every episode is going to be the best episode. He literally watched the trailer for it and was like, "Oh wow." So here's the thing, though. We have seen in Halo lore, in games and cutscenes and stuff, Master Chief being the complete badass. And the things that Master Chief does when he is in the cutscenes and all the awesome shit that he does is still better than everything that they did in this in episode 5. All the action and stuff, it's not that good. They do everything they can to manipulate you into thinking, cool, here's the action that you've been waiting for. But we know that Master Chief is better than this. And also, Master Chief has not earned that level of badassness in the show because they spent the first 4 episodes deconstructing him. They should have had that kind of action in the beginning of the show, establish that Master Chief is a badass before he takes off the fucking helmet, give you this feeling that, wow, he really is the last hope of humanity, and then deconstructed him. It still doesn't make it better, but it would have made it more palatable. And so this whole episode was just them trying to bait people into watching the show more. So fuck them for that. Fuck this Master Chief. He's terrible. And fuck the fact that they cannot stop showing his fucking face. Even when he has the helmet on now, they do this stupid superimposed thing. It's stupid. It's fucking awful. And then not only that, but for them to try to also make it seem like Master Chief is going overboard by punching an elite to death, when those elites would glass that whole planet if they could and kill every single human being on it, but yet he's supposed to show them mercy. Go fuck yourself. That's not Master Chief going too far. We've watched Master Chief summarily execute multiple Covenant forces because he cannot show them mercy because they will not show him the same courtesy. So once again, fuck them for that too. A woman trying to tell Master Chief how to do his job. Get fucked. Episode 5 fucking sucks too.
Yes, it does.
I'm glad to be here.
Suck.
I'm glad you're awake. I'm glad you're alive. That was the concern. Is what the fuck, did he die?
I even tried to video call you. I was so worried. I don't know if you saw that on instant message.
Part of us just assumed that Mazza had sucked your soul out of your body and you didn't realize it. It was during the stream, and you just died.
Yeah,
so
Mazza gave me Ebola.
Damn it, Mazza.
God damn it, Mazza. But Lady Gravemaster's here. How you doing, Lady G?
I am doing pretty well. I haven't had to put anybody down today. Sorry, Mike.
Oh, well, it's kind of disappointing. I like hearing about you breaking dudes' arms and stuff.
I didn't break his.
It might do it for me a little bit. So,
Mike, I feel like this story, you've just sort of given it a life of its own.
listen, I've told a lot of Lady
I've
Gravemaster.
told a lot of people about this.
She broke this fucking dude's wrist. She kung fu kicked him through a window. It was a badass moment for her.
Yeah, and took his wife.
Took his wife too. It's her wife now. She can do it whatever she wants. So,
oh my word!
Real quick, Lady Gravemaster, have you ever seen Kill Bill?
Of course.
Yeah. So the scene where like Pai Mei like grabs Uma Thurman's arm.
Yeah.
He's like, it's my arm. I could do with it what I want. Like that's exactly how you own that guy. You can tell me it didn't happen like that. That's exactly how it happened. That's exactly how it did.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you know the ground did most of the work. Okay.
Hey, listen, whatever you say, you can give all the credit you want. We all know what you really did.
Okay. Whatever you say, Big Mike.
So you haven't beaten anyone else up today?
Not today.
All right. Well, let's catch up with the chat a little bit. So there was actually something I got to catch up on. There was like 2 super chats while I was asleep, so we got to hit these. The first one was from the last toxic male who dropped a 20 through super chat. Thank you very much. Holy shit! So he says, Minging with Mozza episode 2. By the way, it's banned in China. Minging with Mozza episode 2 is greater than Master Cheeks and the Blessed Toilet Seat episode 6. Hashtag shy. Hashtag bah. Thank you very much. Last toxic male, you mad lad. Yeah, Minging with Mozza is banned in China, by the way. Fun fact.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Must be doing something
You know
right.
why? Because they had a black guy on the show.
Well, Mozza's got an answer to that. He's going to make you smaller on the thumbnail.
Motherfucker. Piece of shit, Mazza.
He's selling out to China. And then Amber Andromeda with, oh gosh, GBP, Great British Pounds, Disparu money, $4.49. Thank you very much. And it's the Keep It Up Pan. Thank you very much, Amber. Appreciate that.
But he couldn't keep it up. He could not get his head up. His head was on the pillow.
Yes.
No, he couldn't.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even on the pillow. It was on the carpet. I slept on the carpet.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Lethal.
That's why we were concerned. I was, dude, just for that moment, we were like, damn, dude, Lethal might have just fucking died. He just
sleep on the carpet.
Lethal.
He got the Mozza virus, and it was lethal.
The Mozza virus. Lethal, you need a wife.
I need many, I reckon.
Well, he already has one wife, but she's not doing her job because she's not making him fucking sandwiches. You know what? This is Blab's fault. She just made him a goddamn sandwich. He would have had the energy to stay awake.
9-minute mark, getting clipped. Awesome. And then...
Well, so, okay. If you guys need a palate cleanser, because I know I did after this, good old Stig Kenobi and I, we do Blockbuster Archives once a month and everything where we review old movies. He had me watch High Road to China. It's a Tom Selleck movie, and it is freaking fantastic. And it is full of all of the things that Master Cheeks is not. Tom Selleck literally backhands Bess Armstrong's character.
Oh, shit.
Like, smacks her in the face. Granted, it's to save her life, but he's still just like backhands the shnikes out of her.
Wow,
that's good.
But yeah, Lethal, you need a maid or a wife or both.
Yeah.
Both. Arnold Schwarzenegger styles. Brightest Day with a 2 through super chat. Thank you. He says, all blame the Mozza virus. Yes, the Mozza virus is real. We were warned, but we did not listen. And then we had Last Toxic Male with another 10 through super chat. Thank you very much, sir. He says, Minging with Mozza episode 1 and 2 was better than this shit. I actually agree with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not hard to... it's not a high bar, but Minging with Mozza episodes 1 and 2, despite Mozza trying his best to tank his own fucking show, is a massive success. Go watch episode 3. It's gonna get better. It's gonna be munted. To get good. It's just already.
No, we went through it. There's like 300 episodes of filler on Minging with Mozza. But anyway, let's jump into
So wait,
this.
is the Mozza virus just like step 1 of Mozza's flood? Is Mozza attempting a flood here?
Yeah.
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 The only thing that can stop him is the Mecha Mozza. That's what we're building.
That's not good. Mozza.
The other part of it is that Mozza will infect himself eventually and just start killing himself. You know, It's a
From the
whole
inside.
thing.
I wish
that's
these
all.
blessed ones would die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, what did you think of this dog shit episode? Which I can't even remember what it was called, but let's call it episode 6.
Well, you know already how I feel about episode 5. I gave that little disclaimer beforehand. So not only do you then spend an episode where you finally have some fucking action and something actually kind of sort of ish fucking happen, then you completely fuck that episode in the ass raw with no lube with an episode where nothing happens at all. And Master Chief just kind of stands around looking pissed off the whole episode, but he looks pissed off all the other episodes too. You know, no real character development, and then everybody just spends the whole episode shitting on Halsey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was an anti-Halsey episode, really.
This episode was. It's one of the worst episodes because of what happened in the last episode. They tried to keep it interesting. They tried to keep people invested, and they actually made it worse by like having a ton of action and then nothing. You couldn't just have picked up a bunch of momentum and just like sprinted to the end. You took like a quick sprint and then stopped to say, okay, I got to rest now. So, yeah. And this is basically like this is what's called in TV and stuff, a bottle episode. But they've had like 3 bottle episodes already this season and they only had 5 episodes. It's because they're trying to put the production into like these episodes with action and then trying to like fill it out afterwards. Because whenever you see an episode where the main characters and a lot of the characters are not available and they're all in like tight enclosed set pieces, it's a bottle episode. So yeah, it's fucked.
What about this part? Like Chief, in the canon, he's very like after Sam died, he became like very caring into an extent. Like he went above and beyond to go, I gotta take care of my people.
Yeah.
And then in this one, Kai's sitting down. She should be fucking dead from the last episode, but Elite was just very lightly giving her love taps.
Chief should also be dead.
Oh, yeah, fucking off. He should have died in that explosion. But she's like screaming out in pain, and Chief's just standing there, like not caring, thinking about Halsey and how he was kidnapped. In the moment, Chief would be like doing what he can, like, even operating on her if he had to. But instead, he's just sitting 100%. There being like, nah, fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It makes him come across as a complete detached asshole. Yeah, because now he should have emotions. Should he be even more invested? There's a scene in Halo Infinite that I just recently saw that I love because it shows Master Chief in a way where you don't have to have a fucking helmet off to show it, where he finds a dead Spartan. And what he does while Cortana, who doesn't, I think that's what it is, yeah, who doesn't understand the impact of what just happened, he puts his hand on her shoulder. That's just it. Just touches her like, one of his soldiers died. One of his people died. And that hurts him. But he moves on because he can't stop. That's Master Chief in a nutshell. And this Master Chief can't even bother to care about the bitch laying next to him screaming in her seat because he's so worried about his own fucking childhood and being lied to. Instead of putting the mission first and then himself, he's putting himself before everyone else and then saying, fuck the mission. But there is no mission. There's no fucking mission in any of this.
But that comes back to a point we've made a dozen times, and we're going to make it again. There's a very specific reason why in the actual canon, they make the point of going, do not lie to them, because they will find out. It's inevitable they'll find out.
Yep.
And how are they going to react when they do? Whereas in the canon, it's like, look, this is what fucking happened. Move on, cunt. Too bad. We got aliens blowing up planets. Yeah.
Yep. But the greater good. It's for the greater good. Yep.
Yeah. Lady G, what did you think of this episode? I haven't really got your take yet.
For a show that was advertised as, I don't even really like, something that video game people were gonna, they were gonna love, they were gonna recognize stuff. There was gonna be a lot of stuff that there was gonna be some changes because Silver Timeline, but they were like, this is gonna be great, and it's gonna showcase the power of women in the Halo universe. They're gonna showcase just how powerful women can be, and how without, Cortana, and specifically, like I remember there was all this stuff about Cortana. This episode,
damn,
like, thought last episode was pretty insulting to women because basically the universe is in a shitstorm because these women are
Women
pure
ruined
evil.
everything in this universe.
This episode between wounds where they should like a man whose physiology is different, who can take hits hard, like a bullet is like a blast is a blast.
Yeah.
Like she should have been dead 4 times over.
Yeah.
But okay, so you want her to survive. I mean, you made Chief survive the unsurvivable as well. Okay, so we'll give it to you. But to just have her sitting there like screaming in pain. Did nobody think to give her a sedative? Did nobody think to like do any kind of basic first aid? And
Women
then
don't need sedatives. They're tough. Come on now.
what legitimately pissed me off about this episode? I don't know. I don't.
You broke Lady Gravemaster, you pieces of shit.
What's
She's
going
like, boom, 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 boom. But now she's just like, nah, I'm done. You fucking broke me. I thought this was downright retarded. Why would you bring her into the med bay where everyone else is? For all you know, she's contaminated, carrying an alien space COVID on her, or she's got a bomb in her or some shit.
See, this was what really upset, because here's the thing, like, for all you know, she could be an enemy plant. Like, she could literally be she could be a literal bomb.
Like, by every metric, that is what she is, because literally their last action, they talk about these blessed ones, and if you actually stop to think about it, only the blessed ones can activate these fucking artifacts. They kidnapped her because she can activate these artifacts. They find an artifact, and their second, like, their first response is to drop the bitch behind them and leave. So the person that they need to activate the shit that they just stole, they left behind. Like, what? Yeah.
Unless they want her to, like, go behind enemy lines to kill Cheeks here, but she has opportunities in this episode to do it, and she doesn't do it. Do you know what? I said at the start, I think they're going for a pseudo-arbiter storyline with this. Nah, I was wrong. They're setting up some weird, freaky, romantic shit.
It's so weird, right? It's like this weird, the two of them have to be together. Like, I swear to God, if it turns out that it has to be the two of them and Quan somehow, like, I think Quan's gonna be the arbiter. If, like, just so you know, after this episode, that's where I think this is going with her. And so she is gonna lead the two blessed ones, and the two blessed ones are gonna either have to, like, boink or do something.
Oh, these bitches are fucking. This
like,
is
gonna, yeah, dude, they're fucking.
Yeah,
it's happening. You know it's happening.
It's so weird to me. I was more uncomfortable with this episode than with all the previous butt cheeks that I have been forced to look at.
No butt cheeks in this episode.
Yeah, there were no butt cheeks, and I was more uncomfortable in this episode than in the previous ones. Like,
blessed butts.
Yes, blessed butt sex. Like, it's just, I don't understand what is going on in the so-called writers' room. Like,
yeah, I think I know what's going on in the so-called writers' room. This blessed butt sex.
Yeah, they're just fucking each other in the ass over and over again. Just, it makes them feel good about themselves. They're like, look at how good of writers we are. Let's fuck.
But do you know what's weird? Like, in like remember the episode when she brought in the hunter worms onto the ship, and Mike just they bring all the hunter worms onto the ship, and she killed everyone on the ship. It was the same thing they did in this episode. It's like, why do you just let her in without stopping to think about it for half a second?
Yeah,
she could have space COVID, or something like that. But
no
protocols. Like, bring her on.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, they don't treat her with any really distrust. And then the one, well, we'll get there in a second with the Marine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It gets really munted.
Mr. Based.
It bothers me because Chief is doing things that is directly putting his people in danger.
Yes.
It's directly it's directly harming his not necessarily mission, but like he's getting in his own way, and Chief doesn't do that. Chief is a tactician. He's brilliant. He is the best at what he does.
Yeah, supposed to
And-
be.
Supposed to be. This guy
Yeah.
here, man, he's the best one so
Yeah,
far.
he is the best one.
He needs way more screen time. He's the only one that actually acts like a Spartan. I mean,
That's why they haven't given
maybe
it to him. By the way,
Yeah.
ladies and gents, gun grease still does not turn your hair that color. That's not how gun grease works.
Well, and it stayed in her hair this whole time. It never like wore out.
Yeah,
there wasn't like sweat
If
from like the big
anything-
battle that she was just in or anything.
yeah. If anything, it's like increased in
It's gotten
saturation.
pinker.
It's gotten pinker.
Oh man, it's
So
pretty
weird.
fucking munted. But do you know what's the weirdest thing about this episode? Not a whole lot actually happens. It's just Halsey bad the whole episode.
Nothing
yeah.
happened.
It's a bottle episode. Yeah, you don't want to push the plot forward too much in a bottle episode.
This is so stupid, this man. And I see people praising this scene as look how far they went. Look how far Chief was prepared to go. He fucking didn't do it. So he locks her in the room. He locks Halsey in this room, right? And he's like, look, I'm going to turn the radiation on in this room and your like insides are going to melt, right? But he's doing it to test Cortana. He's like, go on, Cortana, stop me. You're in my head to control me, right? And Cortana's lying, being like, no, that's not what I'm here to do. And then Chief's like, oh, well, you wouldn't mind if I just killed Dr. Halsey then. And it's just so, this whole scene was shallow.
It was.
Best way to describe it was shallow, man. Because, like, you know he's not going to do it.
Yeah, 100%. You know he's not going to.
And what was even weirder, right, is, Cortana, she has access to everything. We see later in this episode that she can hack fucking anything. She can hack into the firewalls of the UNSC. She even says, hey, this one was a bit tricky, but I managed to get in. And we saw in the previous episodes that she can unlock the doors that has the blessed toilet seat in it. So that's no problem for her, right?
Yep.
Not at one stage did she raise any alarm going, I think he might be going a bit skits.
Yeah.
No. She didn't have to shut him down like he did in the previous episode in order to stop him. She could have raised some type of alarm and alerted people. She could have told Blackwash Jacob Keys to come in and stop him.
She could have just shut down. She could have
She could
just
have shut down the
contained bound.
fucking She could have shut down the radiation as well.
Yep.
Granted, she couldn't unlock the door because he's wedged it. Fine.
Yep.
But she could hack into the room and stop the radiation from flowing into the room.
100%.
I cannot for the life of me understand why this episode is being praised. And like I said,
Well,
if I was someone that liked this show, I still don't think there's much to like in this episode.
No, well, because the argument that they're trying to make is, well, it was just showing you how like far Chief is trying to go, and he was trying to outsmart Halsey and stuff. But I'm like, here's the thing: if the gamble isn't what it looks like, because if he's trying to figure out the limitations of the AI, well, he already knows she can shut his body down if she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say they do call his bluff and Cortana just straight up takes control of his body. She doesn't temporarily do that. She wipes your consciousness and now you lose your autonomy. So then even within, what do? You don't get to, that doesn't prove anything right. It means that you were fucking wrong and now you don't have your body anymore. So the stakes really aren't even what he tried to make it out to be. Because he was like, oh, you can make me do things. You can stop me from doing things. Well, she obviously can because she stopped you from attacking Halsey. But if you want to find out the extent, well, guess what? If you're wrong and she actually can take control of your body and stop you from what you're doing, you lose your bodily autonomy, and it doesn't even matter what you think or feel anymore. So there's no real like actual play here. He didn't outsmart anybody. It was actually a really stupid plan.
It was
and
stupid.
And it actually completely shows all your cards. Shows how desperate you are about your own autonomy. So now they know what they have to do to manipulate you. And versus instead a tactical plan where you say, by the way, here we're in a situation where you owe me because you don't have all the cards on the table. Instead, now he just laid it all out. I don't have any control and I'm scared.
It's like what Disparu says about this show. This show thinks it's smart when in reality it's stupid.
Yes.
It ignores basic laws of science and basic laws of like psychology. Because so the situation that Chief was in this episode is not that uncommon to like Prisoner's Dilemma. It's really not that different, except where instead of it being two people that are separated in two different rooms, or two different partners are separated in two different rooms, and then you convince just one of them to flip on the other or whatever, because it's in their best interest to turn on their partner. In this situation, what you have is Chief is like attempting a prisoner's dilemma while he himself is like one of the prisoners. And so it doesn't work like that, because it's like you're trying to play chess against a mirror. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so
Mozza could outsmart Chief and Halsey in this show.
Yeah.
it's very frustrating, because like I think we talked about it last week, Lethal, where you can't just like you can't put an AI into your head and then compartmentalize. Like, either they're in control or they're not. Like, there's so something with like RoboCop, where his system was essentially like completely wiped, but his memories were like filtering back in, because those were like electric impulses that hadn't quite died, right?
Yep.
This is literally two states of consciousness existing in one person. They've made Chief schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
That's all they've
we
done.
kind of touched on this last week, and Mike brought it up with his episode 5 rant. At the end of episode 5, they're starting to push the whole Chief's a psycho, and we need to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is just another stepping stone to make Chief more of a villain. But and that's something like, putting aside actual Halo canon, just Silver Timeline, just the show in itself, everyone seems to have completely forgotten the first episode he turned rogue. No one's brought that up. No one's been like, dude, last time we put him in a situation, he told us all to go fuck ourselves.
Yeah.
And Chief hasn't once brought up the fact, hey, you guys tried to kill me in the first episode.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Everyone just seems to have forgotten about that.
Yeah. Well, I think that they forgot. Like, okay, this is the thing. This is a recent thing with writers. Because we saw it in Game of Thrones too. Oh, Dany kind of forgot about the naval fleet that killed one of her fucking dragons and stuff. They're not keeping track of what they're writing. Like, if you run into inconsistencies like that, they either intentionally ignore it or they forgot about it and wrote the episode not thinking about it. There's only those two options. Like, they either purposely ignored it and ran past it, or they forgot about it. Either way is unacceptable, because it shouldn't be easy to pick apart that. Yes, there's always room to pick apart a story. You can pick apart any story, even the greatest stories ever written. You can pick them apart. But the fact that you can easily point out a huge discrepancy and that it's easily solvable tells you that they're not thinking clearly. They're just writing shit to write shit. It doesn't make any sense.
The whole, again, we'll use the example we've used already. In the canon, they say do not lie to Spartans, because that covers that whole baseline. This whole plot line should not exist, because you shouldn't be lying to them in the first place.
Yep. It's manufactured drama when there's plenty of drama to be had without manufacturing this kind of these kind of issues. Not only that, but once again, what happens if they don't put Miss McKee or whatever in the same base as Master Chief? What if they take her?
Why
to a
would you
different
bring
facility?
her to Reach?
Yeah. What if they take her to a
the
different
second
facility?
most important planet.
100%. What if they take her to a separate facility and she's not there with Master Chief? Then what? Then what does she do? Because she kills everyone. Now they know that she's a fucking traitor. She'll never see Master Chief. And even if they find out that she's not, even if she manages to trick them and not be a traitor, why would they take her to see Master Chief? Master Chief is the most important character in this whole group. He's the most important Spartan. He's the last hope of humanity. And this bitch is some prisoner of the fucking Covenant. Why would you ever let those two interact with each other? Why would he need to interrogate her? There's no reason for it. Zero. So
Exactly. You could have
The
said
only
anyone.
reason, so there is one reason, Mike, and it's not even a reason that they even flirted with. It wasn't even in their conception. It would solely be so that, and here's the thing, Chief would have already had to have destroyed the Halo ring for this to even work. So it doesn't even work. But he would do it, so the real Chief would do it so he could look at her and know exactly what she was, and then make an example out of her to the Covenant, and then destroy their blessed one.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason.
Yeah.
Chief would hate it. Chief would know that she, like, you know, doesn't matter what, like, maybe she was kidnapped as a kid. Maybe she was stolen out of her crib as a baby. Like, who knows how they found her? Who knows how they got to her? But she's alive. She's lived among the Covenant. It would take Chief exactly one look to figure out that she is Bad News Bear.
Yeah.
She's there to do whatever she can to destroy them, and he would end her.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yep.
But that they don't even flirt with that concept in this.
Nope.
It's not even.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say it's not even in their peripherals. There's no concept for them where Chief in any way, shape, or form is putting the UNSC first, where he's putting humans first.
He's putting
She's
himself
an
first.
idiot as well. She reveals way too much. Right at the end, she completely fucks up when she does the energy sword coke fingernail.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, that's the fucking stupidest shit ever. But they don't address it in the next episode.
Even in this part, she's like, "Oh, you're demon." He's like, "How the fuck do you know that?" I mean, like,
yeah, that's what the saying.
Oh, I've heard them call you demon before. I'm like, bitch, I thought you were in the cells.
Yeah, how would you have heard that, and how would you know that they were talking about Master Chief? Of all people that you could hear on, let's say you know their language, and they're calling something the demon. They don't call him Master Chief. They only refer to him as demon.
And fucking dumbass Miranda, my beautiful, precious Miranda, who they've destroyed in this show. They've changed her entire role and made her so godly incompetent. She goes, "Hey, can you help me translate the Sangheili language? Like, for all you know, this bitch is a fucking virus, a bomb."
Yeah.
Or working with the Covenant. And your whole idea is to go, can you work with me in my lab? Everyone in this show is so dumb.
Yeah, let me take you to where we have the most cutting edge technology, the most advanced weaponry that we're working on, things to like that's gonna directly mitigate or even potentially destroy the Covenant advances or the Covenant attacks. Let me just go ahead and take you in here. Like, Stockholm Syndrome is a thing in this universe. I don't care if it's Silver Timeline. Like, they talk about Earth, they talk about all the other stuff. Stockholm Syndrome is a thing. For all they know, she fell in love with someone from the Covenant.
Yeah. They don't know. Yeah, they don't know. They don't know enough about her. And even if they were going to have Master Chief interrogate her, that means you don't trust her, so you don't put her in an unguarded cell by herself, or like an unguarded hospital facility by herself. You put her in a fucking cell.
But the UNSC at this point is kind of, they're a bit on edge with Chief because of his actions, and they're saying he's going a little bit too far. So why would you make him do the interrogation?
100%. You don't trust him. Why do you
don't trust him?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, doesn't look. You don't understand. No, I do not. I really don't. She's the Uncle Ruckus. She is annoying.
Yeah.
She's Uncle Ruckus. Oh man. But yeah. And then all of a sudden it just turns into fuck Halsey. Halsey's bad. And what did you think of this part? The way they try to trick her. They're not actually in the room. They're watching the
my God.
interrogation.
Yeah.
And she's going to say too much. She's going to say too much. She's going to incriminate us. Like, this is so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I don't even think.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
It's ridiculous. Well, this brew talks about this a lot. It doesn't make any fucking sense how they can see into a room. You know, if they showed cameras or something and they're watching through the cameras, whatever, but they're like literally standing in the room, like watching this whole interrogation take place. The technology makes no goddamn sense. Like they literally Luke Skywalkered themselves.
She's not actually there. Yeah, she's force Skyping her way in. She's not actually there.
But they can see everybody else in the room and everything else going on in the room. But they don't show how or why they can see everything else in the room. They just can.
It's the magic toilet seat.
Yeah. So there's only 3 people that are actually in this room. The interrogator, Cheeks, and Halsey. These other 2 are they're like doing that Inception thing where you're lying in the bed.
Yes.
It's pretty fucking stupid.
And they can see everything going on in the fucking room.
And he starts putting it on her. He's like, you know how I've been saying for months, he thinks he's Christian Bale Batman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you notice his voice starting to growl more and more on this episode?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's the children? Where are they? Yeah.
Where's my dad?
Where's my dad?
And in this part, I'll be honest, I felt they could have done something with this. You could have had a moment of Chief being like, well, you have Halsey being like, well, what if I didn't fucking do it? You wouldn't be here. We'd probably all be dead if I didn't do what I did.
Yeah.
Instead, every time this show does this all the time. Every now and then it starts to touch on something where you go, yeah, this could go somewhere. They just drop it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has its drops that you could turn into like Niagara Falls, and they just do nothing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
It accidentally starts to have plot at times.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, because like Disprue said this in his thing. We're referencing Disprue because he's not here and he can't defend himself. But he says that he never understood, even if it was in canon, why Halsey is kidnapping random children. She could have went to like an orphanage or whatever. The point was, every single Spartan that is ever chosen is handpicked. They study a wide swath of children, from orphanages, from everything. They are
rich,
studying
rich,
poor, everywhere. They have a massive network that they're spying on children, and they find and hand select people for the Spartan program. So if you have a family and you're from a rich, wealthy family, but you could be you have the qualifications of a Spartan, snatched. If you're in an orphanage and you have the qualifications of a Spartan, snatched. They'll take you from wherever they can. That's why it was so rare, because it was so hard to find candidates that would even survive the process, let alone have all the other qualifications that you also needed for a Spartan program. And then it just happened that John had the one qualification that he needed more than everybody else, which was luck. It's how he survives everything, which makes sense for a main character of a series, that he has an intangible thing about him that has made him unique to whatever. But they don't even get into that. They should have been more specific about, there's a reason we picked you. It wasn't just some random, oh, I saw you one time in this planet save a kid's life, and I thought, we need him. It should have been, oh, you are already being screened well before that happened. That's sold
what they do in Fall of Reach. In Fall of Reach, he's like, hey, I need to go down to this planet. And Jacob's like, why? He's like, I've got a candidate there I think I should suss out. He's ticking a lot of boxes. We've been watching him for a while, and today's the day I go and have a look for myself. And another point that Disprue makes, and because Disprue, not overly familiar with Halo, and I think that gives him a way to look at it that most of us can't actually, is he didn't understand the whole coin flip thing. Like, obviously we all get it because that's him getting the coin flip, but that just shows you the show's doing a terrible fucking job of explaining why the coin flip's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so, like,
100%.
And like, I think anybody that doesn't really understand Halo lore, guys, the reason that it's so hard for a child to get selected, like, the smallest thing will get you disqualified. Like, they find out that you have I don't know, like a cotton allergy or something, like, oh, you've got a ragweed allergy, disqualified. Like,
Free more, Trey.
Imagine that you're being screened for a super elite program, and you don't know that you are. So your qualifications, yeses and nos, are based on things that you have no control over. It's not like in the military where it's like, okay, well, we put you through screeners because you tried out or you volunteered. You didn't know you were being screened for all of this. So all of your medical knowledge, information, everything about you, your physical stats, what you could be, your heritage, all of it is taken into account well before you are ever recruited for anything.
Yep.
So,
and something like stealing money. So something like stealing money is not necessarily a disqualifier, because like, if you're a poor kid and you steal money from someone, they're like, okay, well, we need to disqualify him. But then you go and buy bread with it and give it to like your sibling or like another person who's starving or whatever. They're like, oh, okay, we need to continue to evaluate this candidate, because because here's the thing with Spartans, they're supposed to follow orders, and the ends are supposed to justify the means. It's not the means justifying the ends.
Yeah.
So it's all very situational too. So you could, like I said, you can be disqualified for an allergy, but not disqualified for stealing money, depending on what the end of that mean was. Like, why did you steal the money? Oh, okay, so here's why you did it. You're, leadership material or you're like they determine if you're leadership material by the time you're like what lethal like 6, 7.
6. Chief
Yeah.
was John was 6 when they grabbed him.
Yeah. So like guys, it's freaking. I mean these people. It's actually kind of terrifying when you think about it, but you know, like Lethal just said a little bit ago, they touched on it. This would have been such a fascinating just train of thought to go down, such an interesting storyline to follow.
Yeah,
And you could have
the
bottle
ends
episode
justify
this.
the means. Is
Yeah.
it exactly said? Is it that's always been the whole thing with Halsey? Like the Spartan 2 program, you go, that's some fucking shady shit, man.
Yes.
And she even mentions it in this part, the way like, well, they go, well, won't the parents notice a missing kid? You know, like we've kidnapped their kid. Parents aren't just going to give up a child and they'll notice if their kid's not there. And then Halsey's like, yes, so we did flash cloning, you know, we'll swap them, we'll do the switcheroo. So we take the real one, we give them a kid, you know, the kid starts getting sick, and within 2 weeks, the kid dies. So the parents think their kid is actually dead, and that's why they don't go looking for the kid.
Yep.
Like that's pretty fucking dark.
Yeah,
But
really,
you know, if they didn't do that, Chief wouldn't have saved humanity how many times he did. So that's always been the point. And then, you know, you lied to me. That's him this whole episode. You lied to me. You lied to me. Just goes to show you there's a reason why they make a point in the actual law to go, don't lie to him. And by the way, Miranda over here, Black Miranda, she's not actually in the room. She's doing the Inception 4 Skype bullshit.
Yep. And she did it in a room. This is the other thing, real quick. She does it in the room with her dad and the other lady, and they don't know she's in the room.
Yeah.
They didn't even know she was in the room. And so she did that. So they can do that without even knowing that the other person, like another person in the room. So you could literally sneak into that room and kill them both, and nobody would have any clue. She could have just stuck in there, like anybody could have just stuck in there, killed them both, and walked out, and nobody would have had any idea.
Be a shame if a Covenant spy was in the same building with them. So there they are. They're taking off their Inception things so they can come back to reality.
The whole that doesn't explain anything. Like you can't throw your conscience through walls or through floors or through cement, whatever, and have it like materialize in another location. That is ridiculous. Like there has to be so even if say that was some type of projector, right? Say that was some type of what technology that could project your consciousness. You still need a receptor somewhere. You need something to receive what that equipment is projecting. You can't just willy-nilly throw your friggin' consciousness out there. It's insane.
It's kind of like how Cortana appears in this show. Like it doesn't make any sense how she can just manifest wherever she is like that. Where is she? Like that. No. It made so much more sense where you had to plug her into something, or Chief can pop her out of her hand like a Star Wars hologram or some shit. But she can just walk around. Because this part got me thinking, because she's manifested walking around with Chief, talking to him, arguing with him because he's an idiot in this show. Chief get cheeks. Sorry, there's times where you squint your eyes, he kind of looks like Chief when he's in the armor, but he's cheeks. Don't get it. Don't.
Don't.
And he gets in the elevator and goes down, and she's still manifested. So that got me thinking. Can she just walk around whenever the fuck she wants?
Yeah, and who can see her?
Mm-hmm.
They don't ever establish who can or can't see her, but then we've talked about it before. It seems like everybody can see her when she manifests.
Unless she doesn't want them to, because in this episode, like, it's like he's the only one that acknowledges her at all in this episode. She's around when other people are around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like
soldiers walking through these hallways this whole time.
But he's the only one that's acknowledging her.
Yeah, and you'd think like some of the soldiers would be like, "What the fuck is that? You seeing this blue chick walking around?"
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And there's been nothing to establish that they have to be within X amount of distance to each other or she disappears, because he gets in an elevator and fucking, goes down the elevator and she's still standing there until she decides to disappear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, like that. He's in the elevator and gone, and she's still just chilling there. Like, whatever, man. So she could just go for a walk.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, this part, like this was one of the parts that really upset me, because the idea that so there what that implies and here's the thing, the writers don't even know what they just implied. What they implied is either Cortana is becoming so powerful that she doesn't need Chief to help manifest her, and she is now her own consciousness, which would mean she's no longer an artificial intelligence. She is an intelligent, sentient being. Or Chief Cheeks is literally schizophrenic and seeing stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the only two options from that scene. Like, what the writers just implied from that scene is either Cortana is now a sentient, intelligent being, or Cheeks has literally lost his mind.
Yep.
I don't think he even wears armor in this episode. I think he just walks
Nope.
around in his kimono.
He does in the
shirt
very
with cosplay.
beginning.
Ah,
At the
yeah,
very
yeah.
beginning, but yeah, that he
But
does.
there's no
of course,
helmet.
No.
So he goes to see Kai, and he's all like, "You took your pellet out. I took my pellet out." And she's like, "Are you going to tell the others?" And he basically says, "Nope, but I think you're still fucking retarded if you can't figure out that she took it out. The fact that she's got the fucking pink shit in her hair should be..."
Yeah, it's pretty
Everything.
obvious she did.
Yeah.
He figures it out in like a matter of seconds because her hair is different. He figures it out. But they act like the only reason he figured it out was because he knows that that's abnormal for a Spartan to do, but nobody else thinks that's abnormal for a Spartan to do. Like, what? Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
No, see, what they're trying to imply with that is no one else was going to tell. So, remember that I brought up that there's military standards, there's dress code, there's all of these things. Like, the military, oh my God, you guys should see how thick those handbooks are on military codes of conduct and military dress. Just, it's freaking thick as shit. So, but the thing that I think that they were trying to imply with this, which they failed at utterly, was that nobody else was going to tell her anything because they're all that scared of her. And Chief's the only one who's not scared of her to call her out on what she did. But that is entirely lost because you don't have any, like, it would have carried much more weight if you had Marines, like, staring at her. You know, like, she walked in and they all just kind of, like, look at her and, like, then have sort of this...
Yeah, that's true. But then
you know
remember
what I mean?
in the last episode, she's walking around with her helmet off just before the battle happens in the base, and no one looks twice at her.
Yeah,
now, shout out to John Connors, because John Connors pointed this out to me. MP, does that look like it was spray painted on, like, very quickly? Like someone just went,
yes,
done?
Yep, it does. It doesn't even really look like, it doesn't look like UNSC uniforms at all. It looks like they just threw it on people. Yep.
So stupid. Now this is the start of Halsey getting screwed over, you know. Fuck you, Halsey.
Real quick, too, we also went over it a little bit. When Master Chief goes to see McKee bitch or whatever, there's a regular ass soldier outside the door. I think his name is Jenkins or some shit. He says they don't take prisoners.
Yes, listen to that guy.
They've never taken prisoners. Something's not right. That bitch ain't trustworthy. And then Master Chief's like, cool, yeah, bye. I'm gonna go talk to her now and tell her a bunch of information that she shouldn't know. Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that dude, that one dude, that guard. Shout out to him, man. He's
the only fucking one that figured it out in the entire UNSC.
And like, and the thing is, it's like the writers put that in there to mock people, and be like, see, we know what you're all thinking, but we're gonna ignore it anyway.
Yeah,
that was literally just a bitch slap to video game fans and
100%.
God, -30 for this episode.
It's bad.
I'm kind of leaning episode 3 still the worst, but this is a strong contender for second worst. This was fucking, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out why this is getting the praise.
I can't either. It's just, they're just like, oh, it's better than the other episodes have been because episode 5, it's just a high. Yep.
So this is where you get Miranda being stupid. Godly stupid. Hey, do you want to help me decode the Swahili language? You lived with them. And she's essentially like, yeah. And then one dude should be like, wait, I thought you were a fucking prisoner. All you would have heard is, shut up, chow time, human filth. Yeah, that's pretty much all you would have heard.
Yeah, like, nobody thought to ask, like, what did you do while you were, like, what did you do as a
Well,
prisoner?
you're right. That's pretty much what I was just about to say. But I mean, wouldn't you just be like, you look extremely healthy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for a prisoner. Yep.
Yeah, for a prisoner,
Yeah.
these guys think our whole race is just an abomination. They want to wipe us out. And they're taking you a prisoner, and there's not even a single cut on you. Your hair's clean, your skin's clean, your
She
clothes are
has no
clean.
shackle marks. She's got no scorch marks. She's got no burn marks. She doesn't look like she's been like tortured. She shows like the scarring on her shoulder, but it looks more like a tattoo or a brand than it does anything else. And then but like basic questions that you would have asked in an isolated chamber far away from the center of your entire functioning army, military, government, whatever. Like, for the love of all that is holy, like, were there any other humans? How young were you when you were taken? Do you know why they took you?
Yeah,
What
why
did you
you?
do while you were prisoner? What did you see while you were prisoner? What was your view? What, like, these are basic things that you would ask any prisoner. One, to gather intelligence, and two, to see if they're trustworthy. Because if someone is in a cell for 16 years, they're going to they're going to be like, the only thing I like. If you ever listen to some, like, if you ever read or listen to some of like the Vietnam vets that were POWs or World War II or anything like that, there's like a slice, there's a spot in their cell or in their wherever it is that they are, and they always go to it because the human conscience needs escapism, especially from brutal reality. If you're being held prisoner by a race that thinks you are literally the scum of the universe, you're going to need to find some kind of safe haven.
Yeah.
So then you're going to go to that same spot. And she would have said something along the lines of how, there was like, the covenant was so strong, they didn't have any weaknesses, there was nothing that I could ever do, but in my cell there was one crack in the wall, and I would always touch it to remember that they're not invincible, that some things like that, you know
Yeah.
at some point everything cracks, at some
I
point
think it's
everything
more
changes.
believable that Juicy Smollett was robbed than that
Yeah.
she was a Covenant prisoner.
Yeah. But
And
like
also-
she shows no signs of PTSD. She shows no signs of any kind of trauma of any sort. She's very well spoken. She can speak their language. She's overheard top secret conversations.
Yeah,
This
she
is
knows way too much information for a prisoner. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the only way that that would be possible is if she was continuously tortured. But
Yeah.
again, she shows no physical signs, nor like when you're tortured, it breaks you mentally too. So, and she shows absolutely, even if she had healed entirely physically, she would mentally not be okay.
Yeah.
And we've seen just in the games, and I know it's different because it's mostly to do with the flood in the games, but we've seen like fully trained Marines kill themselves in the games because of the
Yeah.
shit they saw. And
Yeah.
this chick has been a prisoner for how many years, and she's not crazy.
Yeah.
So this is fucking bullshit, this whole thing, man. Oh, by the way, this right here is the only time you see Quan in this whole episode, so I'll give it a point for that. It's still in the negatives though. But Mike, you want to tell them what's happening on next week's episode?
Yeah, literally in the trailer, I don't even think you never see Master Chief because the whole episode is about Quan.
Yeah.
It's about her in the preview. It shows her finally getting to Madrigal by herself. She already outsmarted what's his ass,
Soren.
Mr. Soren. She outsmarted him. She's going to take the planet back herself, all by herself, all by her
Fuck's
lonesome.
sake.
The whole episode is Quan centric because she wasn't in this episode enough to justify it, so they have to make sure she gets her screen time. So next episode is a Quan-centric episode. We may not even see Master Chief.
And this is another very clear I took my chip out moment.
Hi, everybody! What's going on? Yeah, and they're like, oh, this bitch again.
And I already saw a few like outlets of being like, oh, they've revealed one of the UNSC's most deadliest weapons. And I'm like, yeah, there it is. Who the fuck cares?
On the fucking table. Congratulations, yeah.
Where anybody,
Awesome.
like, where the emotionally unstable, hormonal teenager trapped in a 30-something-year-old woman's body can grab it and go crazy.
Yeah.
But also,
What could go wrong?
they literally the whole her being upset. it makes no sense because she's in the room with them talking, and she keeps trying to she goes to say something quietly, and they don't say anything because they're working, and she takes it personally and thinks they don't like her and gets like upset about it. But I'm like, bitch,
Yeah, like
they
a
don't have
fucking teenager.
emotions. Yeah, they don't have fucking emotions. They don't give a shit. Just say what you're gonna say. Stop acting like they're your fucking friends. They already told you they have no interest in all this emotional shit. They haven't, for some reason, put together what's going on with you, or they don't give a fuck what's going on with you. So like, just stop taking an offense to it. Nobody cares.
So this part is Halsey's been kicked out, and they've given her lab to Miranda, the most incompetent fucking scientist. Miranda's not. They've changed it. They've turned her into a wannabe scientist in this show, and she's the most incompetent fucking person in the whole
She's
UNSC.
literally she's a little girl trying on her mommy shoes that are too big and thinking that she looks as good or better than mommy. Like that's literally what it is.
And then she goes to see Halsey, and she's like, "You never loved me, Mom. You never loved me. You spent more time with your work than you did with me, Mom." And then Halsey's like, "Yeah, I was just, screwing you over this whole scene. I had a fucking eye camera on to fuck you over this whole time."
Yeah.
And this is where it gets extra munted.
Oh, fucking.
So we get this massive exposition dump from Marquis about blessed ones, and she figures out that Cheeks is a blessed one.
Yep.
And then she's trying to convince him to take her to where the toilet seat is. Now, if everything else isn't a red flag that this chick ain't being honest with you, that's got to be the one where you go, okay, something is up.
Yep, 100%.
And he's still not stupid enough to let her out, but he has a little panic attack because I think what they're trying to say is the toilet seat's slowly killing him from the inside because he keeps using it. He's ODing on the Force like Jake Skywalker did, kind of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is, though, again, not how this works in the games.
No.
But then this right here, the prophets taught me how to stop fighting it. Like, whoa, hold on. So are you a prisoner? Or are you hanging out with the high prophets?
Yeah, the fucking prophet. This is that implies that the UNSC has enough knowledge of them to know what the prophets are. Because if they don't know that, then she just gave them information that they don't have about the Covenant at this point. Because they don't really seem to know anything about how the Covenant act or work or function. And she just tells you that there's prophets involved in this. And if they already knew that, then like they're way farther ahead than they should be.
They don't even know their language. I mean, in Halo 2, they translate the message. They go, "We've cracked the message. We're playing it. It just says regret, regret, regret." And then Cortana's like, "Hey, I've hacked into Truth and Mercy talking to each other." But in this one, they're going, "I don't know what this elite's saying."
Yep, 100%.
And then she's just dropping it. She's coming here talking about prophets and blessed ones and take me to the keystone. I am definitely not an infiltrator.
Yes. Yeah,
somebody needs to take that and put a Keystone beer right there.
Need the Keystone.
And then here we have Cortana hacking in to FleetCom firewalls in order to speak to Halsey. And they say, "God, man, these firewalls, they're really tricky to get through. They were invented by rapey fucking assistant guy. That's how fucking hardcore these are."
One scientist can invent everything for the UNSC.
Yes.
There's not teams and teams and teams of scientists developing this technology. It was one fucking guy that works with Halsey in one fucking room. Because that's how small the UNSC is. That one person is involved in all of these projects. That's not how the military works. That's not how technology works.
No.
But whatever. No, it's fine. He's everything. He's good at everything. So
it's really good at clones as well, I hear. So Miranda runs this test and discovers that Cheeks and Mackie are a 1 in 2 billion match, because that's going to be a thing later. And then Cheeks is all like, "You know what? I'm going to go play with the Keystone. Let's do it. It's going to be hella lit." And then he starts touching it, and then Mackie has another orgasm. She has a lot of orgasms throughout the show.
Yeah, her acting.
Of everyone in the show, she's constantly the one that's feeling the best, man. I reckon she's had about 4 orgasms throughout this entire thing. Good on her, I say.
She straight up owns it, man. She's shaking, her toes are curling and shit, man. She is living her best life out there.
In the extended cut, she lights a cigarette after.
Yeah. Man, fuck. Whatever the Covenant got going on, man, I want that kind of technology.
I'll have what she's having.
Yep.
And then $2 through Super Chat from Brightest Day. Thank you very much. Hope Frosk got a great paycheck for this role.
Yeah.
Kind of does look like her a little bit. She's like I'd say a more attractive version of Frosk.
That's true.
I mean, I hit it.
Well, yeah. Hey, she's got better front teeth.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's something like I'm fucking a cheese grater or anything. But thank you very much, Brightest Day. Yeah, well, considering how everything's going for Gronk 4 TV, I certainly hope she got a decent paycheck as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cheeks touches the toilet seat and she has an orgasm.
Really intense.
And just sorry, go on.
I was gonna ask. Did I miss something? Like, were the two of them? Did he like inject her into his brain at some point?
No. Her orgasm is so intense that she teleports.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just really confused why.
It's a magic toilet seat, Lady Gravemaster. Don't you understand how this technology works?
No, I don't.
It's a magic toilet seat. She touched it. He touched it. Everybody's got the same disease.
But
why does it look like he has diarrhea every single time they go to this too?
Because that's the only face he can make.
He has diarrhea and she has orgasms. That's all that happens.
That's all that happens. Here's the thing. If they're both blessed ones and she's orgasming when he touches the stuff, why doesn't he orgasm when she, or, have diarrhea when she touches the stuff? Because she has touched artifacts.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I'm assuming I haven't missed anything in that scene because it happened before. Like when he first touched the blessed toilet seat, she orgasmed. Like that's when she sits up and she's like, it's a smaller orgasm, I guess, but she's like, she does like that intake of breath.
Yeah.
So, but she has touched keystones. Apparently, is what they're called. Freaking beer. You couldn't think of anything better to name it after than a beer. My God.
No.
But like she's touched artifacts before. So why was Chief not having diarrhea face then? It makes no sense because technically nothing in their relationship, like they've met, but he has been having an effect on her before they met, which means for consistency's sake, she should have been having an effect on him before they met.
Oh, real quick. Yeah, we do need to address this. This bitch, she's like, hey, I got shit to do, motherfuckers. Let me do shit. And she's like, no. And doesn't call the guards in at this prisoner that was held by the Covenant. And she's like, bitch, if you ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do, you know what you're about to get? You're about to get the finger.
Brightest Day, I know a keystone is an actual thing, but this show belongs in the bin, and it's Keystone beer. Okay.
She threatens to finger this bitch. And within like a matter of seconds, she collapses on the floor, having a seizure. And this lady on the floor is like, so I know you just manifested some blue energy shit out of your finger, and you were going to stick it up places that are going to kill me. But it's more important that we not handcuff you or figure out what that thing was. It's actually more important that we apply medical attention to you. She never even mentions the fact that she tries to kill her.
I know, and this is like straight up Covenant tech right here.
You're muted, Lethal.
Oh, sorry. I said, how did they not discover this when they searched it?
Yeah.
Because
it's just part of her body now.
Like this is straight.
Like,
also, does this give anybody like X-Men 3 vibes? Do you guys remember like the
Lady
chick?
Deathstrike?
Yeah,
that was like X2, yeah.
X2,
but yeah,
sorry.
No, yeah, but straight up, she's just like, boom, and you're like, okay, yeah, but like that doesn't immediately trigger any alarms. A weapon was activated in that room. Nothing. And because she has an orgasm, the lady's like, you know what? We're gonna ignore that fingernail thing that you just did because we need to make sure you're okay.
See, and this makes really no sense at all because so Chief is he's
like fucking that thing hard. Look at how hard he's going. It's like they're fucking.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, he's
when I watched this, I was getting some vibes.
We just saw that. I mean, he's plowing that toilet seat. And she's like, it's like,
so like now that their
man.
brains are linked, does that mean if Chief dies, she dies, or if she dies, Chief dies?
Well, that's going to get awkward then, isn't it?
who knows?
She's there to kill him. But then the big moment happens. So they're doing the Inception 4 Skype call. And where could they possibly be? They're on a fucking Halo ring. Both of them. And they're looking at each other like, you ever fucked on a Halo ring before? And then Cheeks walks up to her ever so romantically and ever so gently puts his hand on her cheek in the most romantic way you could possibly think.
This is the weirdest stuff ever.
This was weird.
And he's like, "Hey, bitch, I'm glad you're here."
Like I'm so confused. First of all, if you're casting your consciousness, don't you have to know where you're casting it to?
No.
And
No.
again, there has to be some kind of receptor to accept your consciousness.
No.
Look at that.
Come on now.
It's so fucking bad, dude.
She looks like a boy. She looks like a prepubescent boy.
Yeah. Well, Chief is really fucking horny right now. We know that. So
Yeah, they took his pellet out. Chief's gonna fuck anything.
any port in a storm.
Yeah, we're talking about a grown man that's hitting puberty like a 16-year-old man. Every hole's a goal at this stage.
Yeah, he is about to, and he's so much bigger than her. He's about to wreck her shit. But she's got that fingernail, so she's got like a little secret weapon, to use on
She'll
it.
probably like it. She'll probably like scratch his back with it or something.
Scratch his asshole with it for sure. Yeah.
Ew.
That Spartan strength, that Spartan durability, man. She's about to put it to the test, bro.
He can take it.
He can take it. He's the Master Chief. He's the last hope of humanity.
Okay, and like here's the thing. So in the Halo games, right? Oh, sweet Jesus, Mary and Joseph, deliver me. What? No.
Yeah,
No.
She's about
Put
to
your
stick
finger
it up
away.
his bum hole, and she's about to activate that shit. And he's about
Mackie, phone home.
Yeah,
Oh God.
he's about to have another. He's about to have a real special orgasm there, and that's the real keystone.
Ew. Ew.
She's about to find his halo.
Ew. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Listen, man.
No.
This is what's happening. I'm telling you guys right now. She's about to
No.
show that halo right up his.
Halo was a sacred ring. They weren't exactly lying.
Hey,
Go on, Lady G. I'll stop.
No, I can't. I actually
can.
can't.
you can. You got
I
this.
actually can't. My
You got this. You got this, Lady Gravemaster. Listen, it's fine.
I was just gonna say that like in the games, the rings are held to be like this like reverent thing.
Yeah. Well, it's so reverent. They're about to fuck on it.
Stop it.
Wait a
You know
minute.
what? I'm waiting for. I know the next episode's a Quan episode, but I want the next scene of these two, right?
They're gonna be
So they'd
naked
be
next to
laying
each
next to each other, naked, with like a
Yep.
blanket just covering them over, and they're like
or just-
cuddling up and shit.
On the ring. Yep, right on the Halo ring. Also, I want to point out this is a thing. So in the Halo games and stuff, you're playing, you can see the ring, you can look up into the sky, you can see the ring. It's like a huge deal, because Halo's so fucking massive. In this scene, they show the ring, and they show it from one side, and the camera pans up. It pans up in the sky. You can't see the ring anymore because they wanted to make it like realistic with atmosphere and shit. So you can't see the ring in the sky.
Yep.
And then when you go down the other side, so there's a whole shot where the camera's panning through an empty sky.
Yep.
And you're like, and they do it twice, and you're like, okay,
Twice.
but there's no fucking ring there. You can't see it. You think you could have at least made it somewhat visible. So it's like, oh, this thing is fucking massive. No, it just disappears into the sky.
Yep.
Let's pan across the sky and show absolutely nothing.
It
While
just
these two
vanishes.
get ready to smash.
And like the thing is, oh, by the way, guys, when it's the scene of them that like they'll both be naked, but she'll be on top and we'll get to see her ass.
Yes.
So
Let's
like
go.
she'll just be laying on top of Chief. We can't see anything.
or
Like we won't be able to see
she'll
her
be on
boobs
top
or
and we'll
anything.
see his ass because her finger's going to be just jammed up it.
Halo takes on a whole new meaning. And the other thing I was thinking of this as well, like the way Cortana works in this show, how like she's drilled directly into his head. So like Cortana's in his
threesome.
head.
It's
Is it a three-way? Is it a
He's
three-way?
in a three-way. It's not gay if it's in a three-way. So
Chat, I'm gonna ask the question. I'm gonna put a poll in. Does it count as a three-way?
yeah. Also, does this
A
mean
three-way.
that when they because Cortana's involved, can she feel what he's feeling?
Oh.
See, but now you're breaking into the fact that she's a conscious, sentient, intelligent.
Exactly. She could get out of his head, get it on the other side.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
she could fuck both of them at the same time.
This is
So at the moment, yes, at 100%.
This is so insane for this. Oh God in heaven, I don't understand. First of all, this whole scene is creepy. It's not even cringe. It's creepy. But why? Oh jeez. Oh my God, you guys are terrible. But like, what happens if? Okay, so say she like whips out her energy sword. Does she kill Cortana?
Who knows?
I gotta give my boy this one. I don't know. I mean, the more you think about it, fucking A, it does. The more you think about it, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah,
there really is a lot going on in this one moment.
There's a lot going on, man. Yep, Cortana's about to get smashed. Listen, I'm telling
Cortana
you guys,
Cortana doesn't have.
She's in his body.
Yeah, but she doesn't have a cord. Like
she's in his body. She can deal with shit. She could even maybe like edge him herself. She could be like,
if he's about to bust too quickly, she can shut down his body.
Stop it. She'll stop it long enough to keep it going.
She could be the ultimate blue baller to an extent.
Yeah.
This
is really important.
This is Silver Timeline lore.
Yeah, this is more important than anything else they've done in the show. We need to know.
This is up there with Rapey Scientist Guy. This is important 100%. Shit.
We need to know, Rapey Scientist Guy, how many clones does he have in his basement, and what is he doing with them? And we also need to know, how does Cortana affect the fucking that's happening between these two? Because it's definitely going to be a thing.
Well, they already, like, guys, I'm not even kidding. I swear to God, it was like that scene out of Demolition Man where the two of them put on the helmets, right? Across the room. Like, it's the same thing. Because that was like, she was legitimately orgasming. Like, there's no way to put that. And he was hulking the F out on that. Like, he was like, his hips were ramming into the air. Like, he was shaking it and like ramming his hips. Like, what is going on right now? Because so they've already they've already done it.
We already figured it out now, Lady Gravemaster. The ring, we called it a sacred toilet seat. What we didn't realize was that it was actually a metaphor for a giant vagina, and that's what the whole show is.
Hence the orgasms.
Hence the orgasms. Master Chief grabs it and he's just like, oh, and she's like, oh, and then they end up they're in the same headspace now. It's a wegasm now, not just, it's not just for one of them, it's for both of them. And now Cortana's in on it too. She's about to find out what the real human experience is about. This is what this is all culminating into. And then how it's going to end is with a massive orgy where Kwan's going to show up with Soren and Master Chief and McKee, and then fucking pink-haired bitch and Miranda, everybody, and then Halsey's gonna get back with Jacob Keyes, and everybody's just gonna be in a room, fucking, but also they're gonna have those things on their heads, unconscious, also fucking in another room.
Figured it out. We figured it out.
That's the end game.
It took us 6 episodes. We got you. It took us 6 episodes, but we got you.
It's just porn. That's all that's been going on.
It's just porn.
That's why it's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. I don't want it.
I think the plus stands for.
Yeah, my silver timeline. It's just porn.
It's just porn.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be honest.
Actually, Halo a space orgy. Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. If that was their end goal, I'd be so for it. This would be the best show ever written.
But
this was just shitty backdoor pilot stuff for porn.
Genius. Fucking genius.
Yep.
But aren't porn actors supposed to be attractive?
That don't fucking matter now. There's a storyline. I don't give.
You haven't watched a lot of porn, have you?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't
we
watch
just needed we just needed a good storyline at this point. There's
This isn't a good storyline, Mike.
It is for porn.
Hey, come on. We're six episodes out of 9 episodes. 69.
69.
And the 6th episode is the one where it becomes obvious of what's going on here. You're telling me this isn't all connected?
Come on now.
It's porn.
I
We've
think
done
that
it. We figured it out, boys and
out.
girls.
That's
it's
all it
porn.
was.
The
That's
silver
what they've been building up
timeline
to.
is shitty porn.
Season 2 is literally just nothing but different episodes in different situations.
Of fucking.
Just fucking.
Miranda gets stuck in the washing machine and Master Chief has to pull her out. But while he's there...
Yep. And that's when Sergeant Johnson shows up on scene. I'm here to fix your washing machine, ma'am.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
I know what the ladies like.
Stop it. You guys are scary.
Listen, I'm not making this up. This is what they're planning. We
Played us like a damn film.
You got it figured out.
What? Stop
Got it. You can't, Lady Greymaster, you can't tell me that this isn't adding up. We're putting these two together. We're coming up with 4. You can't tell me this isn't making sense.
We're just connecting the dots, and the dots are starting to make a lot of sense now.
The dots
Halo
turning into
Paramount.
naked people.
Yes.
No. No.
They've been seeding it in the beginning.
I don't watch porn, okay? It's not my thing.
You've been
More
watching
power
it for
to
6 episodes.
Yeah,
You
what
just
are you
don't know
talking
it.
about? You're watching it right now.
No. Oh my god, this is
Technically, you're on a porn discussion stream.
Yeah. I know you didn't understand it, and it's okay.
I didn't get it until about 20 minutes ago. And then
We
it all
just figured it out, and now all
This
makes
show
sense.
is genius. Brilliant.
It's
Look, okay.
Brilliant.
So here's the thing. The only other porn thing that I have like visually seen is do you guys know what hentai is? It was very
Yes.
awkward for me.
Did you just ask Lethal if he knows what hentai is? Who the fuck are you talking to? Like,
Have you seen The Grave Mine? A lot of tentacles.
There is a lot of it was very uncomfortable for me. I didn't know that that's what it was, but it was just like it was really weird, and I didn't like it, and I
It is
shut it
weird.
off.
well, even if you don't
And I
like
was
it,
uncomfortable.
that's what you're gonna get.
But at least for the first 2 episodes, the story was like made sense. But then, like, I swear to God, 3 minutes into the 3rd episode, everybody was just like naked, and there was like stuff, and I was like, and I'm done. But like, you know where you are. Look, I'm not gonna pass judgment on people. I've been an anime fan for like 21 years.
You cannot, yeah, exactly. You can't not be an anime fan and accidentally stumble across hentai from time to
Yes,
time.
like you're
fucking
gonna come
happens.
across it, but
It
that
just
doesn't mean that
happens.
it doesn't mean
you
that
actively
everybody
search.
knows.
Look, I'm not really a fan of the hentai, to be honest with you. But if you are, I don't care. More power to you. Doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
You know, you have your fun.
Yeah,
But this show's porn.
you do you. This can't be like this.
It
Can't
is.
be porn,
It's porn.
guys. It is $17 million an episode, and you're telling me that this is porn.
It's the most
Yes.
expensive porn project ever created, and
I'm all
respect
for this, man.
I
We are
respect the
witnessing
hell out of them.
history.
I
This is
respect them
groundbreaking.
for it. They caught us off guard. We didn't see it coming, but now we will see them coming.
Especially Cortana if you're in his head.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I swear, if these two bang on the Halo ring,
They're going to bang.
I will throw a Molotov cocktail. I can't even talk anymore. Oh my
I'm
god!
telling you right now, it's completely apparent they're going to bang.
All right,
Oh, I know
Lady
they
G, if you had to guess, Ali's two got to get it on.
Yeah,
There we go.
There we go. It's
that doesn't make it porn.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh,
If we don't see anything, it's not porn.
Yeah,
it's porn.
It's porn.
You're in denial. This
I know
is
you
porn.
are. It's okay.
The
Listen.
greatness that is the Halo show is going over your head at the moment. Once you sleep on it, you'll wake up and go,
It's all
"Holy
come together,
shit."
and we've figured it out exactly what it is. We now know, and they're geniuses. They really are.
Yeah. They got us. They got us. Hats off to them. They got us. Well
Porn
played.
is not genius. What are you?
It is now.
Stop
This is
it.
genius.
It
These
is when
writers,
you spend $2 million an episode.
Oh my
Paramount
god! What is your
Plus
safe word? Banana. Porcupine.
Halo.
Halo.
Yeah, the safe word is Halo.
Halo.
Param-
Halo. Halo.
Paramount
Halo.
Plus sat down and fought the long game through.
Yeah.
This is
Somebody came in there, they kicked open the door while everybody was sitting there during a corporate meeting, and the guy goes, "I've got it, Halo porn," and they're like, "Write it up now, $90 million. Let's fucking go."
This is it.
Yep.
This is
This
it.
is so freaking hilarious.
But it's true. It's making more sense than the actual plot line that's going on.
Yeah, but here's the
100%.
thing. I was in the Marine Corps. I didn't watch porn, but I heard about it a lot. And it always seemed to be that there were like 6 chicks and 1 dude.
Well, there's 2 in this scene.
Yeah, well, and also like equality, Lady Gravemaster. Let's
Yeah, what
chill.
the fuck?
Let's chill the fuck out a little bit, all right?
Calm down, Lady
There's
G.
one
Wow.
dude and there's like 8 girls. And Soren with his fucked up arm, he's not getting any action. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Come on, Lady G.
Come on.
Really?
Master
Come
Chief.
on. Calm down a little bit.
I know. How atrocious. I'm so ableist on the porn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come the fuck on now. It's 2022.
So we're all in agreement, chat. It's porn.
So
This is
wait a minute.
porn.
Yeah.
Hold on. If they can hang on, if they can project their consciousness, which they are doing right now, can they do that more than once? Because they technically should be able to. So doesn't that mean that this would be literally an unlimited orgy of just the 2 of them doing whatever they want in different positions?
That's exactly the point.
You know, he might need a rest in between, but yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, but he is a super soldier, so we know he can get.
And he has taken out his pellet.
And he took out his pellet. I know you're glad that you're here.
He's gonna crush her. Are you kidding? Look at the size.
She was trained. She was trained by the Covenant. She's strong.
She's slaying the dragon.
Yep.
You can't.
I know you're really glad that you're here for this.
I'm so excited to be here. This is when Lethal was like, Lady G, let's go ahead and talk Halo because you're a fan, we're fans. Disbrew doesn't know what's going on, so he's gonna have a fresh perspective, like a normie perspective on it. It'll be great. Yeah, I gotta say, I was not aware that I was critiquing a porno.
I wasn't either.
But now
that's
we know.
the genius. That's the genius of this. None of us knew.
Yep. We figured it out though.
Master Cheeks takes on a whole
They're gonna be
new
pissed
name.
at us for figuring
New
it
meaning
out.
now.
But
Yep, no,
we now
I'm
know.
expecting a call from Paramount Plus to go, congratulations. You solved the riddle.
Yep. We'll never.
You don't understand, Lady G. We just won a golden ticket to the chocolate factory from figuring this out.
And by chocolate, we mean sex.
Yeah, to the sex factory with the Oompa Loompas.
How did we get here? I feel like
6
I feel
episodes.
like this is how the
that's
Halo writers
6
got to where
episodes and a lot of bad writing.
this is how they got where they are. Like they
Yeah.
just kind of turned around and they're like, "How'd we get here? Oh well, too late now. Let's just keep going."
Well, there you go, chat. We figured it out. It's porn.
I know you guys are so
5,000.
pumped for the next episode because we're about.
Oh, there's
to
going to
see
be
all
some
kinds of
pumping going on in the next episode.
No,
It's
we're not going to
dance.
see anything.
Willy Wonka indeed. Let's go. It just keeps getting better and better and better. All right, we're going to start to wind this one down because we cracked the code, so there's not much else to talk about just yet. Mike, thoughts, overall rating on the episode before you figured out what it was and after you figured it out?
Before I figured it out, the episode was absolutely like a 1 out of 10. It's terrible. It's not good. After figuring it all out, it's a fucking masterpiece. There is no rating. It is masterpiece, certified fucking platinum.
Yeah, I'm with Mike on this one. And the results are in. 89% say that it does count as a freeway.
Yep, there we go.
Well, it's not 69%, so it doesn't actually hit home.
Oh, see, now you're getting into it. Let's go. Episode 7 hype.
Oh, I promise you, Lethal, I could make you cry with some of the jokes I could tell, but I'm not going to go there. It's a dark place. And I don't
Darker than what we're fucking looking at the moment.
Oh, you've no idea.
Well, we'll wait till
Darker
Jacob
than
and
Mike's
Johnson
asshole.
get on.
You haven't seen my asshole yet. I mean, you'll never see my asshole.
Boss Hole with a 10 through super chat. He doesn't say anything, but he's in total agreement that this show is pornography. Thank you very much, Boss Hog, you mad lad. You're washed up. Appreciate it. All right, Lady G, your final thoughts on this?
Well, before we figured out the great mystery, it was a -3, and now that I know that this is a porno, it is a negative infinity.
You heard it here,
Infinity.
folks.
Because she is look at her face. You're telling me you'd want to bang that?
What we're saying, but you do understand that negative infinity actually just loops around back to a positive.
Yeah.
No, it
Like
doesn't.
a 69. It's kind of like, both sides.
It's a black hole where it sucks everything inside of it and crushes it into
Apparently,
non-existence.
that's what she's going to do to everybody else. Yeah.
I hate her face. I also hate her teeth.
Well,
like,
I don't know.
Imagine
any port in a storm.
Would you really want to put your dick in that mouth? She'd probably
if you take the pill out,
skin it off.
Any port in a storm.
Have a look at this.
Oh no,
that's her. That's her.
She looks really trashy as a blonde. She looks pretty good there.
See?
She has no boobs though. And her chin is off center. And her hairline is really bothering me.
Any point in a storm when you take that pill out. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's not bad. I mean, like I said, I'm a 6 and I'm comfortable there. But if you're going to be a Hollywood starlet actress and you're supposed to be this desirable thing, you should be a 10, like a cold 10. And she is maybe a lukewarm 7.5.
I think we need to put your pill back in.
That's a solid 8 when you're drunk.
Yeah, and I think we need to put your pill back in and take it out again so you can remember how that feels.
Yeah. Yeah, you put the pill in, it doesn't even register. You take the pill out, looking pretty fucking good all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So
I
next
think,
week.
See, and look at the other I'm sorry. I can't.
Lady Gravemaster is a savage on this poor woman. Look how fucking ugly she is. Look at her fucking face, and you're like,
it's another female, so I must hate her.
Yeah.
No, I like women. I would bang the crap out of Charlize Theron, even though she's batshit crazy. I mean,
probably works out better in the long run.
But she's gorgeous. Like, nobody can deny that Charlize Theron is drop dead gorgeous.
You guys heard it from her. Listen, this is Lady Gravemaster taking over this whole thing. She steered the ship into a whole nother water.
I'm just saying, I don't play for that team, but if I was ever going to, it would have to be for someone top tier. And she just does not float my boat.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh.
She does not nah. It ain't a thing for me. She kind of, like, especially when you see her teeth, she sort of looks like a buck-toothed chipmunk. And when she's the blonde, she looks like a strung-out buck-toothed chipmunk.
Damn.
Brutal.
What? That's not brutal. I'm just making an observation.
Well, damn.
Far worse about me.
Damn.
I promise. But, like,
damn.
You're gonna call her a blessed one. You're gonna say that she's like super intricate to this story. She's the only human that the Covenant has ever taken and that they've held on to and that they're utilizing for their own ends of their own purposes. And she's supposed to be this incredible cosmic being, and you can't even find like an 8.
Damn.
Why isn't she just this? Why isn't she this tall, long-legged, drop-dead gorgeous bombshell who can be disarming with her looks? Because that's what femme fatales do. They use their feminine wiles, they use their beauty, they use their looks, they use their allure to disarm people, and they use it to make them to make themselves be underestimated.
But remember, this is a porno, so maybe she fucks like there's no tomorrow.
I don't know, and I've not seen anything like that except the orgasms that the solo orgasms that she's had, and quite frankly, her O face is really disappointing. She could be orgasming just as easily as she could have stubbed her toe on the corner of a couch.
We've only seen the toilet seat O's. We haven't seen one where she's.
We haven't seen Halo O's.
Yeah, now they're on the ring.
Yeah, but it's not even real. It's just their subconscious. It's just their conscious that they've projected onto the Halo ring, so it's not even their real bodies.
Kilimanjaro. Poor girl.
Infected.
God God damn, Lady G.
Oh, okay, all right. So next week, I think next week, me and Lady G were doing Sailor Moon as well, right?
Yep, this Saturday.
Yep.
Boom.
That's gonna be
Saturday.
wholesome. That's gonna be wholesome. What do you have coming up before then, Lady G? That the people know. And Mara, if you're still here, can you please drop a link? Why doesn't Mozza do some fucking modding for once, hey? Why don't you drop a link, Mozza, you fucking dog?
I have like 3 streams this week actually. So I've got one Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Central, so 5 a.m. my time, Mountain Time. So I'll do Tuesday morning I have that, and then Tuesday evening I think I have a stream with Stig. I gotta double check. I don't know if we do or not. Or no, I think it's the second Tuesday, so that won't be till next week. And then Thursday I have my Nostalgia Nirvana stream.
The last one got taken down, didn't it?
Yeah. For ignoring repeated warnings of abuse of other people's content, but they gave me no specifics, and I was like, I got 0 warnings. I said, I don't understand. And so someone's like, oh, it's probably the music. And I was like, but shouldn't that be a claim and not a strike? Like, it's a warning now, but I was utterly confused. I was very confused. I don't understand. But yes, so my Nostalgia Nirvana, and I have 3 videos. 3. I'm like stunned with myself. I got a crap ton of work done this weekend because, Lethal's body shut down. Maybe Cortana infected you, Lethal. Maybe Cortana shut you down.
If I end up on a ring with that woman, I'll let you know I'll let you know if her O face changes.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so I think I'll have like 3 videos drop this week.
Let's go.
But
yeah,
so that's kind of what's in my neck of the woods. But otherwise, I kind of I watch everybody else. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Miss Martin Muse's channel, but she's amazing.
Speaking of which,
Miss Martin,
she drops
Hello.
the 99-cent super sticker, and it is a rose. Thank you very much.
Aww.
Appreciate that. Hope you're being well.
But yeah, I'm here for it. I still really want to just beat Maz's ass in Destiny 2, though.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Like, just waylay the ever-loving piss out of him.
Yeah, set him on fire.
And then carry his ass like the little purse doggy that he is, the little purse puppy that he is.
She's calling you a bitch, Mozza. Step
1v1.
up. 1v1, you dog. But thank you for coming on, Lady G, and thank you for being here for this great revelation that we've had. The show is pornography.
Thank you for having me and taking me down that very dark road. And I don't know if Moz is in the chat, but please let him know that I do still love him.
Nobody
Moz. No, you didn't do anything.
You're
It's
a
just
sounds
having
so
given you
innocent.
crap in so long, Maza. It feels wrong. Like something is off kilter. So I just had to throw it out there. Also, do you still like this show, Maza? Please tell me.
No, he only likes the 5th. He likes the 5th for everything. He thinks the 5th Terminator is the best one. The 5th Die Hard's the best one. The 5th for him, the 5th one's always the best, no matter what it is. He thinks there's, the 5th Element. He said that he skipped the first 4 to watch the 5th. Mozza does not break character. Mozza is on the same level as Dr. Disrespect when it comes to not breaking character. He sticks to the character permanently.
Oh, I love it. Mwah, much love, Mozza.
But he's banned in China.
I don't actually.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
He's banned in China.
All
right, what about you, Mike? You go on Twitch again soon, mate?
Yeah. So I took a little bit of a break. It was a hell of a week last week. Kind of burnout on just life in general, but we're back to it. Tomorrow, I may not do my 11 a.m. stream. I may do a later in the afternoon stream, but I will be streaming. I'll be streaming tonight, probably about 8 o'clock, something like that. I'll be streaming tonight on my channel. Nice. I'll be streaming tomorrow. Then I got Tuesday night's main event tomorrow evening. Wednesday I'll be streaming. Thursday I'll be streaming. Probably in the morning with the crew doing some Warzone. Season 3 update just dropped, so we gotta get on that. I know Lethal and Jay Hailstorm, you guys are planning a Halo stream soon, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do Infinite Season 2 when it drops.
When does that drop?
I'll send you the picture.
Okay.
But
yeah, because
hold on, let me check.
Okay, because if it's this week, then I'll be also appearing on that. We're doing some Infinite. You can also check me out every Saturday. Me and Josiah have been doing a stream, talk about just news that we want and shit that we want to talk about. Not even, it's pretty informal. It's not like a Tuesday night or a Friday night tights. We're just chilling and hanging out. You can check that out every Saturday. I'm always on there. Always check me out on Tuesday night's main event. And then, yeah, you can check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_epic_Mike. And then later this month, I'll be pulling the trigger on that YouTube channel finally. So you guys will be able to see me do some rants, be able to see, a lot more of my gaming streams and a lot more gaming clips and stuff on there. So, yeah, man, that's what we're doing.
Hella lit. Hella lit.
And I'll be on here every Sunday, unless Lethal falls asleep again. I can't control that one.
Hey, after the discovery of what this show is actually about, I'm actually excited for the episode coming up. I got to see where this story goes now. There
awesome.
You go. I've just sent you the timetable of where
Okay,
it
yep.
drops.
And then Jay Hailstorm in the comments said it's tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah.
There you go.
In a few hours, well, about 8.5 or some shit like that, I'll be over on Twitch with Mozza and Jay Hailstorm. We're playing Destiny. And then I'm going to hit the ground running with Infinite Season 2 the second that drops. I'm going to do that on Hyper Lethal, my gaming channel, which I've got to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. That's the big goal. And finally, I don't have to spend half my days out anymore. So I'm going to be able to spend a little bit more time home these days for a little bit. So I'm going to, in the next few days, get right back into the swing of things. Kind of like I was in around December-ish. So we're going to be back to that schedule. So soonish. But on that note, boys and girls, have a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever it may be. And remember, this show is pornography.
Oh, sorry. You probably thought I was a drop bear. No, it's me, Bush Barbie. And today, I'm here to talk to you about dingers. Because like you, this bush has seen a cockatoo. Regardless if you like it deep in the bush or prefer it in the outback, make sure you look after your wombat hole. So many critters can get down there. And believe me, it's enough to make your dango go drier than a dead dingo's donger in the desert. So don't do it. Even if he is a fun guy. Yeah, so by all means go wild. Just make sure you take a moment, in the moment, to use a moment, so you can keep the devil out of your Tassie and the jelly out of your box. That's it.